All right, morning. So nothing on the economic calendar that I'm really interested in during my trading session. We got building permits came out at an hour ago. They were very slightly above the forecast. And we had crude inventories and stuff at 11:30, but that doesn't regard me. So, expectancy wise, overnight, I mean, we did kind of a megaphone. We kind of tested some highs, tested some lows, tested a little bit highs, and then we tested some lows again this morning. It's I guess overall slightly downtrend, but it's kind of greasy. Yesterday we had a really nice push up. Got above all the daily highs except the one that made the extreme. I'm intrigued still by this level slightly. My two yellow lines are important to me this morning because this is a level that we held yesterday after breaking the pattern, and then same thing with up here. We broke up above this bottoming pattern and then it one time straight down to make a low. So I generally regard those as you know, very important support and resistance areas, zones if you will. Got our purple lines on for yesterday's high and low. We're basically dead nuts in the middle of the range. We're kind of in the middle of the range overnight. No, not really. Bottom third, close to middle, something like that. It's kind of anyone's guess or game at this point. I'm not really biased in either direction other than the fact that that just happened. Now it did happen just before the economic calendar releases at 9:30, but I'm going to be patient at the open and kind of see who steps in. I think I'm interested in both. I'm interested in a short above and I'm interested in a long below. If the right, you know, price action occurs. So just gonna be patient. And we'll see how we open. We're basically opening rate at yesterday's close, so I'm not really taking gap fills or anything like that into consideration. No gap and go setups, nothing like that. So we did pop above a little bit, completing that two-leg pullback. Second candle never actually even retested the high. I expect this to get broken for sure. This is my opinion, I guess. No, I shouldn't say for sure. That's for sure how I'm looking at it. This level was strong. There was no option for me to get in here, I guess, unless I was trading the 5-minute chart and really just took this breakout trade down. Or limit ordered up here, risking off the swing high in case it got a little fizzy in here. But this setup, in theory, right, should fail from this level and then push a new low. We got one leg, we got our 2-leg pullback, and then expect another push down. Is kind of how I would read it. It's a perfect 2-bar reversal happening here. No follow through, just an inside candle. This may give us a stall though. Might just struggle and then give us a little bit of a pullback above this area here. I'm not too interested in trying to breakout trade right into that level, but didn't get enough candles in a row either to kind of classify that for me for a one-timing entry. Oh, there it is. Okay, we broke below. Testing below. Now let's see if we want to go lower. We're approaching that level where I expect some hesitation, maybe some profit taking, maybe some longs. Pushed rate to it pretty strong. Inside candle, getting a little bit of hesitation here. We're gonna continue. It's teasing that one tick poke right now. Oh, I like one tick pokes, I tell you what. Approaching the area where I was interested in potential longs. It's a nice 2-bar reversal. I think this could give us a small push back up. And get on board here. See if we get top tick filled right to a stop out. Kind of looks like it. She kind of looks like it. Two ticks a room. Does it hold the retest? Certainly trying. Looking for a push back up above this stall area, touching the moving average would be great. I like the one tick poke. I like the 2-bar reversal. I like the level. Not looking for a massive, you know, runner or anything. Just looking for a little move back up. Like 91.50 rated in there is even better if we can get there. Hitting into this level here. I ideally would like to see it test the other side of the range. It's a decent candle close. Probably get a retest. The top of this range maybe. See if we can continue to hold, and then we'll push to the other side of this little range here. Definitely looking for it to hold the top of this range. If this candle gets back up above our 90, we can eliminate some risk, reduce our risk to this new little swing point it's trying to hold. If pulled back to the perfect spot, we're testing the top of this range. If this top of this range holds, we should test the other side of this range and hit my target. But it's important that this comes up and breaks above here. Looks good, it looks okay. Just want to see it close up here for sure. Definitely trying. Definitely trying. Okay. Got 2 ticks, that's good. We're not failing the 1 tick poke. Let's see if we can actually test the other side of this little moving range here. Let's see if we can get filled right here. All right, there, nice. Good little quick scalp. Perfect location based on our early morning analysis from our yesterday level. Got our nice 1 tick poke below a little, false buy here. Then we got a 2-bar reversal. We got all 3 things and at the right location. It's great. Didn't actually even test the other side of the range, past it, sorry. It did test the other side of it. Didn't test above it though. Definitely, definitely a bearish touch, a bearish reaction, especially because ideally, I like to see when it touches areas that would have been stop losses, and I know there probably would have been a couple stop losses above here. It actually didn't even touch them. It got held, and we got a very bearish reaction. So downtrend likely to continue. We still have a bearish bias, but got a nice 2-bar reversal off a 2-legged pullback. No trigger yet though. The trigger is a pretty large risk for me. 87.75, be 92.50. Yeah, too big of a risk for me, but oh, it's 91.75. It's max size risk. Technically that was entry right there. It did break this little 2-legged stair step pattern as well. hesitating here. Might get a little bit of a pull up here, pull back. We've got a minute, just over a minute left in this 5-minute candle. Came back up, tested this underside of this range, right what we lost. Makes sense. The moving average. It's definitely a good short setup, really. Struggling here. 3 candles in a row. I don't know if that's enough to give us a little bit of a pullback. I'm debating limit ordering a pullback. It's not even going to. Should get a new low here. Yeah. So this was a miss. Nice. And I mean, it was a miss 100% because I had taken that long and I just didn't adjust quick enough. I wasn't stalking it quick enough to be ready to take it. But that absolutely was a second trade entry right there. So our line for short level comes down. We're tested just below this important level from yesterday. Kind of see what the reaction is here. Nice, there was the target. Still going. Great short entry, great short trade, big miss. I mean, I know why too. Like I really wanted it after I saw it developing, but straight up, I could feel the emotion that made the money on the first trade. I saw how much risk it was going to take to get into this second trade, and I was going to risk a little bit more than what I had made on that first scalp just to get into it, and that altered my opinion. It did. It made me not take the trade. If I wouldn't have taken this trade and I would have been flat on the day, I can almost guarantee you that I would have taken this trade no effort. I would have just been like, yep, okay, it's within risk tolerance, go. So that was an emotional mistake. Kind of growing volume a little bit on this push. Is this an exhaustion candle or are we going to continue? A little bit of an inside candle. Still looks relatively bearish. Our yesterday's low is quite a ways away. This was the level from yesterday's price action that I was quite interested in. We have yesterday's morning open here, but I'm not too interested in that to lean on. This level is gone. I can remove it. We've exceeded the measured move, I'm pretty sure. I got 95 to, we'll say 85, 91 to, yeah, we've basically done a perfect measured move, slightly larger actually, which was the expectation of this entry here. If that pattern played out, the two-legged pullback to the moving average, I like to expect, my two target systems are first, if it was the first pullback, so it's like 1, 2, 3, I expect a measured move on this leg. If I get into it and it's down here, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and it's maybe this pullback, I only expect slight extension. I don't look for another measured move. I do the measured move from 1 to 2, not the third push. Trying to trail this stop. Ideally, I'd like swing points, but to be honest, none of them have put in a swing point. All these candles have failed to make a low, so the algos are definitely selling, just repetitively, continually holding lows. Oh, there we go. It's the first one to break. So we're chilling, we're sitting on our hands now. That was a miss, straight up. I'm glad that I at least can admit it. It was my fault. 100% emotional response is why I missed the second trade. Yep. Need to not have that. That can't happen. I cannot allow myself to have that emotional response. So what am I looking for now? I've had two pushes. Still in no man's land for me. I would be more interested with it lower. Mind you, that's still quite a bit lower. I think if we get some decent price action for maybe a two-legged pullback, I would be interested in a short. If the price action presented right. How did Bitcoin do at market open? Yeah, we're still selling. This bottom little area here between 58K and 61K, struggling. Kind of range bound with slight lower highs. Doesn't look good. Daily chart looks fucking horrible. Looked pretty good till yesterday's close. I mean, I say pretty good. It looked okay. It was trying to hold very important levels, and then yesterday it was just like, nah. We dipping. I don't think I'm interested in playing a reversal down here. I would have rather it be higher or lower. So I'm still maintaining short opinion for now. I'm not gonna short off this action, but just testing the low, seeing if we can hold. Not interested in a low one setup. Some shorts trapped off that, that's for sure. Ooh, holding. Gotta wait. Not interested in a long. More interested in a short, a little higher. If the right action happens. We've achieved our first leg. If we can get one more, especially, you know, maybe a one tick, or maybe to the moving average with a good signal bar. How's our volume count in our first period? Pretty average, 150K or so, or 40, 50K. Nothing crazy. I've noticed in those big drive conditions, it's like 200K. Just a good little piece of information. And much higher volume. Kind of gives you some confidence that the push will continue a little longer. Still waiting, trying to be patient. Don't want to get caught up in this area right now. There's a one tick. Two. Okay, so it's not going to give us a one tick entry. Back to the moving average. Maybe this is a higher low reversal. Looking at it visually, it's a pretty clean W bottom. I mean, if this would have went one tick below and gone the other way, I'd be in this for a long, but yeah, this is looking more like maybe a higher low reversal. We're trying to actually regain the moving average here. See what happens. Just kind of stopped in no man's land for me. I mean, there's probably like maybe a point of control or something through all this. You know, it's kind of like the middle of this big volume area. Could be something like that. Yeah, I don't think that I want to short against this. Potentially could be a higher low reversal happening. Certainly looks like it. It's a big close, full candle. I'm getting one timing action back up. Came back up, tested what we lost. First profit taking level for anyone who's long down here. Geez, I'm not too sure. I know that technically my strategy is still valid. You could read this as a two-legged pullback, but it's just not what I want to see. This is very bullish looking to me. I think even if it does set up for short at this point now, I'm gonna let it go. Like, you could short right now underneath this technically for my setup, but the approach kind of went above the moving average. I don't know. I'm just I have a few things telling like that I just feel aren't as perfect as it could be, so I'm not going to risk off it. Not the greatest signal bar. In fact, the better trade may be playing the trap, right? Especially if this went one tick lower to really maybe get some extra people involved, and then it squeezed straight up. Could go long into their stops. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit on my hands. I'm not going to take this short. So it didn't do the one tick. It's actually going to come back and test the top of this level minimum probably. See if we make it that far. We're gonna squeeze the shorts. This event is happening off of this underside level, so if this does hold long and squeeze shorts, we definitely are not going to want to see a one tick poke. We're going to want to see a pretty good push straight to this moving average, and then it's going to really be looking like a V. I mean, it will be a V at that point. So this could be the start of the V. It's a nice 2-bar. Boy, that looks like a great long. Fighting the urge so hard right now to hit the bid. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it. Nice. Don't want one tick though. Oh, it did 2. Nice. 3. Yeah. All right. Beauty. Beautiful. So you'd be looking for a push right to that moving average. First target. Next target would be above here. It's a nice close. May get a little bit of a pullback for continuation. I feel like I should circle this event so I can talk about it at the end. My review. That looked so good to long. I wanted it so bad, but technically out of my 3 strategies that I'm trying to be extremely disciplined with, only doing those 3, that's not one of them. Even though looking at it and watching it, I'm like, ah, this looks like a great long. First target still is the moving average on the 5-minute chart, and then second target is the red line, slightly above the red line. May run into some resistance just before it, so that's why I would take half off here if you were trading more than one contract. Be like basically the middle of this volume area plus the moving average, and then if this V does actually play out though, the other target would be above here. Flat top. Little pullback there. Little pullback action. Not a bad limit order location, really. It actually tested the level that you would have got in on here. It gave you a second entry in. great reaction too. Would have wanted that to go right there for sure. This was like a quick check, and then it actually didn't go. We're still holding that flat top. Maybe we hold bearish from the lower side of this range. Hard to say. This approach was nice though. Every time that you'd look for a potential short, it didn't go. It kind of squeezed that location, gave a bullish reaction, and it just, there was no short set up in here, and I actually wanted to long that 2-bar right here, but wasn't really a setup for me. It was just the context that we were seeing. It didn't make sense to short. It made more sense to squeeze them. At this point now though, we have a little bit of a flat top here, and technically we pushed up, we pulled back, we tried again, and then it rejected again, lower than here. Now this one spot could have been used to really push then, but then it got rejected again. So this flat top may become our reversal point, and maybe our downtrend will continue. I'm not sure. We would not want this level to break. That's for sure. That's how I would read this. Got a little bit of a cheaper entry now again, but not too sure. Really like the looks of the long back here, not as much currently. Definitely would not want this level to break if you're long, that's for sure. That might have acted as our reversal right there. Retest, holds the same flat top again, and now we're pushing back down. That's a pretty nasty 2-bar on the 5-minute. We could be continuing our downtrend. We just broke our 1-minute level. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, we found some sellers up in the same level as before. Be interesting to see if they hold, if we find buys down here again, below again, or if we do push past. perfect liquidity point underneath that 1 minute support. It's exactly where the 5 minute chart would want to pull back to if it was going to pull back and then go again. We one ticked over that buy up doji candle. That may have triggered in some long systems right there for sure. Might have longs trapped. Could be the fuel to push this down. Price kind of getting stuck here a little bit. We do have, you know, our short line dominance. We did break the stair stepping to the upside on the smaller time frame now. I would be okay with accepting a long because we're underneath this level here if it was going to go nicely, but realistically should be potentially only looking for shorts until, you know. So I'm kind of jaded both ways. I kind of potentially would be okay with both. So I'm gonna do neither. I like the location for the long. I don't like the price action here for the long. definitely looking like it was a long. Yep. Little squeeze action happening here. See if we can break above this with any kind of conviction, or if we kind of get stuck again. There's not a trade set up for here right now for me, so I'm going to go to the washroom. I'll be right back. All right, what happened while I was gone? Some hesitation. Some hesitation. Didn't achieve anything yet. One minute left on this 5-minute candle. This could be the pullback. This gets bought up, closes up top, closes 5-minute candle back up high. Maybe. Maybe. $20 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. Let's see how they close it. Ooh, spicy. Spicy. Not really confirming or, denying anything, just kind of closing not the nicest. A little bit more of a pullback here. Only one tick though. Checked one tick lower, getting some bullish reaction. Ooh, 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 ooh. Still didn't close the nicest. Along above this though, may be the entry for the final push. There's the entry. 2 ticks, nice. Didn't get top tick filled. That's already a good sign. Nice, 3, looks good. So target is 87.75 minimum, but I definitely would not want to see it stop there. If it stopped one tick above, definitely would not want to see that. Looks like the demand is still there. Back tested the entry real quick, still going. So the only reason I didn't take this trade is because the risk to reward for like my first target's not even 1-to-1. Could be an okay scalp, but technically I still am short. There's the 75, that's the first target. And there's the possibility that this holds, you know, poorly. This goes 2-leg, holds 1 tick, sells off, you know, and I didn't want that to happen. Looks okay there, nice. I didn't want that to happen, so I didn't want to take a position against that, where my first target is only not even 1-to-1. But we did get a 2-leg pullback within what we thought was a nice up push with a 1-tick poke. So, you know, decent entry, but that's the reason why not really a trade setup there for me. So we've achieved a 2-legged pullback now on the 5-minute chart to the moving average, even though it wasn't a 1-tick poke. There's definitely going to be some profit taking here, and there's definitely going to be some short selling. It didn't V, right? We have to remember that. We did do a pullback. So there was sellers up in this level before. Do we test quite a bit higher, or do we, you know, struggle right here? Trying to hold on. It's not really a actionable level for me though, still. Trying to grind up. Slowly going. Not getting smashed down. Price slowly grinding its way up. Are we gonna meet any resistance here, or are we gonna just accept it and go through it? Just like that. That's our second target. Our bias switches. Even though we kind of already had done that. Back up pretty much to open. Maybe we come up and fill our little gap. That was really good price action read down here. I've had really good price action read all day, actually. I don't think we've had, yeah. Good call, great call, great call. This was the ultimate target for that entry, but the realistic target was only like there. So if that one held, then it was very likely that we were going to come up and break the 5-minute swing point, but wasn't really willing to risk more than 1-to-1 for the first target. And maybe I should be, I don't know. I'm very much learning here. My reads are good, and like the understanding of the price action I feel is pretty good. I'm very risk adverse though, like extremely. So I suspect a little bit of stall up here because, right, this will be profit taking. We got to the other side, we've achieved it. We've achieved our push. It was important. Now, does the market, do a little bit more of a pullback? Or do we have a minor slowdown and then another leg up? Anybody who chased this long through this part is losing profits right now, right? So they're going to be panicking. They're going to be trying to be forced to make a decision. So encourage a little bit of selling pressure. Some will be getting out as it's falling. Some smarter traders might get out as it starts to curl up again. We're basically back to the point right here where we got that pop. Is anybody in the chat? How are you guys trading today? One of these days, somebody's gonna write to me. I don't even know what it sounds like. I have like a pop-up notification in my chat. It's like a little box telling me that welcome to live chat. I don't even know. I assume that someone's message would pop up underneath it. Wouldn't block it. That'd be silly. How's Bitcoin doing? Coming back down to retest again. Really just holding the lower highs. Not really achieving much, if any. It's not really achieving anything. Music's a little loud in my ears. So we're getting a little bit of a curl here. To be honest, that was quite a one-time push, really. This is the first candle to now make a high. Not a bad entry, really. Right above the first candle to make a high. It was a clean, aggressive push straight to that level. That is the condition. I'm just hesitant because we actually achieved the push location. We actually already got up above. Yep. So that was a losing trade if you took it. That was a trade signal. The only reason I didn't take it though, and one of my conditions, right, is the market has achieved a critical objective for the day. We just broke above that swing point on the 5-minute chart. We got there. If it was still during the push, I would have been more apt to take it, expecting it to come up and break the objective level for me, but it already happened. So, not really, I'm more at this, like now that we've achieved this level, I more expect, you know, a pullback. It just makes sense. Oh, it's snowing outside. It is snowing outside. Wow. First snowfall of the year. I had a nice fire going behind me. It's cozy. I don't even want that on there. I don't even want it on there. I don't think I missed any more news on the economic calendar that we're interested in. No, did not. So I'm going to close that for the day. Ooh. Got our two-legged pullback, final flag maybe with a one-tick poke. Did we get a one-tick poke? Nope, we do not. Okay, we're still waiting. We're big chillin'. Five-minute charts came back and touched the moving average now. Now, the way that I do my technical analysis and the way that I count legs, and I don't know if this is proper or not, this is just something that I've observed over time. For us to break this level, it took this whole move. So for me, this level is not something to risk to. You know, like I would be okay with this market coming down and breaking this level and then putting in a bottoming pattern down in here, not breaking this level. Like the reason I have my green line here is because I'm, you know, this swing point is what we use to achieve to break this one. This pushed our low, this now broke that swing point. So I notice and this applies on all time frames, I notice very often the market will test below a level that, you know, is in between points A and B, and then reverse from there, and then ultimately hold like the true swing point. And you can go back through your charts and start to look at stuff like that, and you will be able to pick it out very regularly. No, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here. That's just something that I've observed so much over a long time now that I almost tend to expect it and, you know, wait for it. If I were to put volume profile on this chart, I'm gonna guess that we're literally in probably the very middle of the day right now. Yeah. Nice curve building, kind of chilling in the middle. We haven't broke any significant levels as far as in the daily context goes, though, at all. We're just chilling as an inside candle so far. Does seem like there's a good amount of selling pressure that was up above us. It got us back down to this point. We're kind of getting stuck here in the middle, chilling around the moving average. Maybe we go kind of range-ish for the rest of the day. Did this tag a diagonal line perfectly? No, not perfectly at all. A little overshoot. Do we print a 75 here, or do we do a one tick? There's a 75 print. Looks like we're trying to break out of our little downtrend we got going on. Did a couple waves. 1, 2, 3. Some buys back out of that level. Not a real clean entry here for me. Five-minute chart actually did somewhat of a pullback or pull up, whatever you want to call it. So it's very likely that it will break a 1 minute level. It did here. By one tick. Selling pressure come back in. Ooh. Little tease there. It's a difficult location for me on the daily context, or really overall. We're kind of in the middle. Some stuff, lots of stuff. Could go either way. Part of me is like, we one tick poked above our resistance here. We got a nice signal bar. We got to follow through, but I'm kind of long biased now at the same time. 5-minute chart is trying to hold this moving average. Maybe it's setting up and we're gonna squeeze shorts up. I could kind of argue for both trades. I'd like to be short. I'd also like to be long above here. So I don't have that conviction in a direction, really. I do think that there would be some shorts stuck if we broke up above here, which may fuel us back to the high. And if we get back to the high, then there's probably a quite highly likely chance that we'll go higher, because then we would have successfully held another swing point on the 5-minute, holding above the moving average, likely that we would come back up if that was how it played out. But it could just as easily hold that 1-tick poke, and this trade could fire down and make a second leg down, which would then create a 2-legged pullback, because we finally had a candle go higher on the 5-minute chart. And then I would ultimately be expecting potentially range bound conditions, and I'd be looked along underneath there. Could go either way. So when I kind of, hum and haw for which one do I want to take, it's probably better to just not take either and sit on my hands. I don't have any conviction. So what I will say is that we do not want to see a break above 90.50 by 1 tick and then reversal signal. That would definitely not be good. That would tend to really encourage me to short. But for now, not interested in either yet. Oh, we got a little pop above. Did not go 1 tick. Yeah, it did 2 ticks. See how it goes here. Wasn't 1 tick though. Still not the slide that you would look for. Maybe, ideally above that level, we're looking for it to kind of go relatively quickly. It still might, but That level was important for us to squeeze shorts from, I feel. Because that was encouraging some shorts. If this comes above here and we get a little bit of a, we need a step in, you know, a little bit of a oomph. That would make sense to me. Really, whatever price action. Kind of like this, we're doing like, I mean, this was a lot more bullish than this, I guess, but it's not clean, not quick. Could be starting to slow down. Orders at 92. Is that above? It is above. How's some of our stocks doing today? Facebook selling a little bit, makes sense. Checking underneath yesterday's lows. Kind of chilling. All right. Tesla. Ooh. I'm gonna pull this chart over and put it on screen here for a sec. So I was really interested in this gap fill box on this pullback, but we've now kind of put in a nice reversal pattern above it too. Demand was potentially so high that it never even got there. Maybe there was something in the news yesterday that really helped that. I thought I saw that Elon was selling more of his shares. I was really looking for that gap fill, but maybe not. But yeah, that's a pretty nice looking reversal. Now, I haven't gone through Tesla stock to see if it respects those types of patterns regularly. Actually, don't even really see one. Yeah, I literally don't really even see one. That is a nice double bottom though, with the poke for the stops and then the other way. I mean, it's pretty nice, extremely nice. Could be a dip buy opportunity now that we've kind of potentially confirmed. You could be looking to buy a little bit of a dip, risking off this low. Not sure where. I have to watch price action on a smaller scale, but you'd be looking for this thing to be like the entry for trend continuation now back up. I don't know. We'll wait and see. See how the day closes today, and then potentially see how tomorrow's price action goes. I mean, we filled the gap from overnight between sessions. There's not one there. Yeah, hard to say. We'll see. Next day or two will kind of be a telling hand for sure. Just have to wait and see. Definitely gave that pattern faster than I expected though, which is I mean, could be good, could be really good. Maybe the demand was just that high. It is a pretty big gap left untested down there though. Definitely intriguing to say the least, to want to wait for the gap. Price action really gone stagnant here. Volumes just died right off. What were the crude inventory? Economic calendar. How was the crude inventory? Crude inventories were down double what they expected, actually. Did we get a big push in price today? Ooh, no, we're actually downtrending. Benson, we're downtrending. That news came out, what, at 11 my time? Let me look here. Atlantic time. At 11:30, so like 50 minutes ago. Is it use oil? What is oil on here? CL, that's what it is. Maybe. Ooh, big gap down on the day. Really slow price action. Makes sense for the time. Market achieved what it was trying to do, and now volume's pretty dead. Not really a whole lot else to say. We're in a tight little trading range. Best to just avoid that. Not get chopped up in that. Straight back to the bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. Kind of teased a little bit of a reversal there and then immediately rejected it. Could be an important sign. Mark that as yellow for now. Are we gonna get some momentum step back in here actually? A little bit of volume increase on these couple downward candles. Remember that I'm still on the fence and like totally okay with this chart doing a larger pullback, right? 2 steps down, 2 steps up, 2 steps back down. Maybe we don't come all the way down here, but maybe there's a high probability that we check underneath here now. Maybe we hold a higher low. I would not be trading for a higher low, as you guys probably know by now. But yesterday, higher lows worked all day, so little bit of a pause bar. Bigger volume on that pause bar. One tick under that pause bar, eh? Opportunity to scalp to the moving average for sure. Maybe a little higher. Kind of playing long into some trap shorts. If you took that trade. Good. The retest. Could we hold the retest? Looks like it. There's your moving average exit. Maybe this thing holds a higher low like yesterday. Nice. I regain that moving average. Circle that for the review. Mm, 30 seconds left in this 5-minute candle. See how they close it. Candles are putting in higher lows after we did that one tick poke below the doji. The doji had pretty big volume. Usually the big volume candle like that at the end is your potential reversal, just like here, just like at the top, probably at the top here, bottom here, big volume, big volume, Bigger volume. Oh. Oh. Trying to remember that this happened, you know, not that long ago. I generally don't like higher lows. And this happened not that long ago, so, you know. This went one tick higher and failed. I'd be fairly interested for a trade to the downside. That would complete a two-legged pullback as well. All right, step one. Now, do we close bearish and reject it, or do we go two ticks? Didn't go two ticks, didn't close bearish either. Retest of the same high level. That's pretty bearish, right? Yeah. All right. Now the purpose of this trade would be a new low under here. That's what I'd be looking for. Two ticks of risk. See how she goes. We got 30 seconds left in this 5-minute candle, so it's probably gonna either tell me if I'm right or wrong relatively quickly. We didn't actually even break here. It's looking like probably wrong. Yep. My candle's not printing. There we go. Had to refresh it. Retested the high, did try to go a little lower. Is there going to be some momentum step in here and continue it lower? I think I'm just going to cut that. Just give it a chance to get out. Didn't really like the follow through. Realistically, that could have been the incorrect decision though, because this tested the top and slammed down. I definitely could have gotten out too quickly. It didn't tell me that I was wrong instantly. I tried, found the sellers. In the past, I have realized that if it allows me to get back out at break even like that on that pullback, often it keeps going. But hasn't yet. It's looking like it's going to try again. $48. So it went one tick again, but price is kind of megaphoning now. Where did we go short? We went short right there. Another one tick poke. I think that I'm just going to stop trading. I think that we've lost our, oomph. We're not really pushing either way. It's kind of getting pretty rangy, pretty choppy. I think we just take it where it is. I'm going to go use the washroom real quick and then come back and do my review for the end of the day. So for the session, we had a nice little possible reversal happening here. which we played perfectly. It stalled right where I didn't want it to stall, so I ditched the trade. And to be honest, that didn't allow me to take the better of the two trades because I made money. It immediately created an emotional response where I didn't want to lose that money that I had just made. Especially because when this other trade presented, I knew the risk was more than what I had actually just made in that scalp. Which really, I'm gonna turn the music off while I'm doing this focusing. Which really made me hesitant. Now, need to have a better systematic, be more a robot that way, because that is not a reason to not take that trade. We had a nice downward move happening. I had everything telling me to look for a short. We had a nice two leg move back to the moving average. And then we got a nice big trigger bar, signal bar, trigger bar. The risk was within tolerance, right? My entry would have been 87.75 and stop out would have been 91.25. So, a little over 3 points, not breaking our 4-point rule. And ultimately, at that point, if that trade played out, just like I have written down in the strategy, my target number 1 system, if pullback was first pullback, meaning that we're between legs 1 and 2, trail your stop over swing points, expecting a measured move. Look to the left and do your measured move. Find a location that makes sense for your profit target. So our measured move, right? We were between legs 1 and 2. Push 1. Pullback, this is where the entry was happening. And then our full expectation was a measured move down. And it achieved it perfectly. We actually didn't even get a single swing point to trail behind. It just went. Candles didn't even came back at all. No pullback, straight to target. So that was a big trade, and it was missed for sure. That was just a straight up mistake. This trade here, really wanted it. Didn't match one of my 3 systems, so there was no trade input, but it was like a nice intuition call. Like I just was watching it, right? We basically put in a higher low W with pretty good buys right up out of there, right from the measured move location. We regained the moving average. We were trying to hold it, and we created a nice 2-bar reversal. It just looked really good for another little leg up, but doesn't really match. I don't really have a trap style entry other than like with the mean reversion 1 tick poke stuff. So that was not no setup, decent read though. And then moving on, there's no setup. We were watching this 1 minute chart pulled back to the perfect spot. For our 5 minute, we came down, tested just below the 1 minute level. Was kind of a messy area in here. There wasn't like a clean setup for me, so no long. But then during this little area here, we could tell it was trying to hold. Came back, went 1 tick lower again, popped up right there. We were looking, we were like, man, this looks like a great long. And was it ever? Now, the reason I didn't take that trade was because entry was 86.25, stop was 83.75, and my first target was like literally only 1 tick above the high, because technically we were still fairly bearish. This could have came back up and failed right here again and then rolled over, and I didn't want to risk more than 1-to-1 for the realistic profit target. Now the second profit target was up above the swing point, which it also hit, but again, not getting 1-to-1 on that first setup was the reason I didn't take that trade. The other reason I guess you could also argue was as we were coming back and like, you know, kind of stalling through here, maybe, I mean, the short bias was starting to get weaker and weaker, and I knew that a long looked here way better than a short, but because I still had that red line on my chart, I was like, oh, should I be getting a long here, or should I only be looking for shorts? So there was no setup that happened there, even though it did do the 2-leg pullback, 1-tick poke, bullish reaction with the opposite direction. It's what we look for, right? That is a great setup, and it worked out really nicely as well. Here, technically, there was a one-timing long setup. Didn't take it though because we had just broken into liquidity. We had achieved where the chart was trying to go. During this 2-legged push, we were looking to come and break above this 5-minute swing point. It's where I suspected that the chart was trying to push to, and we had already gotten there. So this is a momentum entry, and I wasn't really interested in taking that momentum entry after we had achieved where we were going to. I didn't know if momentum was going to continue. I knew the momentum was there on the way up, but achieved the push already. So no, that would be a rule break, no trade signal there for me. And then here, this was a nice, kind of a similar situation. We were long bias at this point. We were in these pullbacks. Wasn't really anything up here that I was interested in at all. When this came down, retested the low. Was I interested in a higher low setup? Not really. Again, the higher low is difficult for me. I would have been more interested with it lower or even lower down here. But of course, price action at that level showed us clean push down. Relative to the candles around it, we had higher volume on this doji candle. That is, you know, important at pivot points. And then we got a 1-tick poke with a bullish reverse reaction. That was a decent long signal, but you had to accept that it was going to be creating a higher low. And this is something for me to work on after these 2 weeks of practice, is I got to decide on if I want to be okay with that, how I want to start to deal with higher lows, because currently I don't fucks with them at all. So that's why I didn't do anything off that, even though it did give a nice, you know, move back up again. Same concept, right? We got a pullback, come up, we start to come back again. If it fails to break this low and we create a higher low, well, where's the chart likely going to come back and try to come back and push above? We'll come back and push above this high that failed to make the low. Now are we going to break above this one? I'm not sure, but it achieved what it was trying to here. This is gone now. And then I was still dabbling with the, am I interested in this higher low? And then as price action was forming here around the moving average, we got a 1-tick poke. We got a opposite bearish reaction. I went short right underneath it. No follow through though. We did not get any follow through, and instead chart came back up. I thought for sure I was going to get stopped out. It held to the tick at the top, gave us an exit at break even. Now, this was lucky, because generally I find that setup's either going to ping me out pretty much right away. I'm going to get filled and then it's going to go right against me and ping me out, and that's fine. Or if it comes up and retests the top and holds and pushes back down and allows me to get out at break even, I probably didn't want to get out at break even because it often then will continue. It kind of already did the retest of the high again and failed again. That's why I was able to get out at break even. That wasn't the case this time. So that's why I think that I'm going to chalk this up to kind of some luck. But I've done this same thing a few times, multiple times in this similar situation. And the general consensus is that if it allowed me to get out of break even after that retest, I probably shouldn't have. So, you know, maybe this one I should have accepted. I mean, I'm not going to say I should have accepted the stop out. I'm glad that I got out of break even, obviously, but should I have, based on like a robotic structural approach? Maybe, maybe not. That was the session. How should I have finished at the end of the session? Well, this trade right here should have been like a 6-point winner. That's really what should have happened off of this trade. 6-7 point winner. No setup through here, and then through here, really it was very difficult, and I'm not 100% on if I want to have allowed myself to take that or not, based on, you know, what I was seeing over here. So I'm not going to incorporate that. And then kind of the same thing through here, these couple setups. This was a setup, but wasn't interested in it, so no event. And then same thing here. Maybe stop out would have been the systematic approach, so I would have lost 2 points. So I would have basically scratched this trade that we took, and then this trade would have been the nice winner. Now, the callouts for trades, though, were pretty damn nice. This one worked out nice. This one worked out great. This one worked out. This one worked out great. This one would have failed. This one worked out. And this one, I mean, you probably wouldn't have been in it if you were in this one. So not bad. Again, could be better, things to work on. But my goal is to try to stay as disciplined as possible with only these 3 strategies in front of me till the end of this week. And then I'll have 2 full weeks of data to go through and maybe make a minor tweak going into the 3rd week. That's my goal. But yeah, for anybody trading the rest of the day, good luck going into lunchtime hour. So be careful, and see you at the same time tomorrow morning.